we will wait for the students, I think a couple more minutes. Maybe we can start around like 10 and 5 minutes. All right, so it's time. So let's start. Okay, right. Hello, everyone. Um, Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Daisy. I am the education planner from IAE London. IAE Global is a leading provider international student recruitment. Today we are going to talk about how to become or route to become a solicitor in the UK for international students. And it's our pleasure to have Peter Goodchild here with us today. Hi. And yeah, we will go back to you. And just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Could you please mute yourself during the webinar? If you have any questions, please write down in the chat box. I will bring it up during a Q&A section at the end of the meeting. And right now we are live or online on Facebook. So we have some students on Facebook as well. And the recorded versions will be available in YouTube channel later. So you can type down IAE London on YouTube so you can see the recorded version later today. All right, let me kickstart from our introduction. IAE Global started as a single company in Seoul, South Korea. Oops, it's here. Right, we started as a single company in Seoul, South Korea in 1992, and this year is our 30 years anniversary. IAE Global has become one of the largest and most diverse students recruitment organization in the world. We have become an industry leader in international student recruitment. We have an abroad-based presence in major students' home country, such as China, India, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Nepal, and others. All right, let me mute our student. There you go. All right. Oops. Yep. Right. So where are we? Yeah, we started as a single company in Seoul, South Korea in 1992. And this year is our 30 years anniversary. Right. And we have a board presence in major students' home country, such as China, India, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia, Nepal, and others, as well as a destination countries where our partner institutions are located, like the US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and other major destination countries. The scale and international reach of our network mean we can offer recruitment, its expertise in a variety of countries. It also means that we have closer relationship and better knowledge of industry that our students attend, like the University of Law. Right, here is our London office contact detail. So feel free to contact us. Right, hi Peter, hi Peter.
Hi Daisy, hi everyone.
Yeah, hi. All right, so yeah, today our topic about route to become a solicitor. Well, especially students who have no law background and students who currently in the UK right now, and some students still there in overseas.
Okay, thanks Daisy. Okay for me to start. All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome to this session on qualifying as a solicitor in the UK and how to train for that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I know that that people here are in a variety of places, so I hope that everyone's okay. Righto, so I'm Peter Goodchild. I'm the National Programme Director for Conversion Courses at the University of Law, and I've been asked to come and have a chat with you guys today about qualifying as a solicitor. So I'll chat for about half an hour, and then we'll have time for some questions and answers. I have with me some colleagues, Katrin and also Rong, who are able to assist with technical queries as well, which are beyond my expertise. Okie dokie, so here we go. Let's get going. So first of all, the University of Law. Where are we? What are we? Well, we have been established for a good number of years now, over 150 years in one form or another. Now we have campuses around the UK and in Hong Kong, with partnerships with several universities also in the UK. We have a lot of alumni, so some famous faces there, but we have 70,000 alumni working in the law in the UK right now. I'm one of them, and so when you come and join us, you become part of a very big family. And if you work in the UK in any law context, you're very likely to bump into people who've worked at, who've studied at the University of Law. So there's some really impressive people on the screen now. So in the middle is Erin Cutcliffe, who did the LPC with us. She's now a prosecutor at the Crown Prosecution Service. There's Caroline Kenny beneath her, who's Associate General Counsel at Facebook. Next to her is Rachel Wang, who's a founder of Chocolate Films. So that shows how portable a law qualification is. And on the right, I don't think Sadiq Khan needs much introduction. He's the Mayor of London at the moment. So lots and lots of alumni, lots of connections with businesses, law businesses and other businesses around the UK and internationally. We work with lots and lots of firms as well. So we have partnerships with lots of top law firms and both national, regional, international firms. So we've got all the bases covered. Okay, so let's kick off with routes to practice as a solicitor. You may have heard this has just changed. So I'm going to give you a little bit of context about how this has changed. Daisy, can you just confirm that everyone can see my screen okay?
Yeah, your screen, yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay,
Thank
you. Righto, so here's a bit of a spaghetti diagram. So I hope to make sense of this for you. You law train solicitors and barristers. So if your aspiration is to be a barrister, that route is unchanged from how it has been for the last few years. But the conversion courses I'm going to talk about also relate to that route. We're focusing mainly on solicitors. So the next question then is, have you studied a qualifying law degree, or have you already done a law conversion course? Well, if you haven't, then basically all you need is a degree of in any discipline, and you're eligible for the new SQE route. That's the new framework. In theory, there aren't lots of hurdles to jump before becoming a solicitor in the UK. If you have, then if you started all of that before September 21, then you'll be on the traditional LPC route. But if you didn't, then again, SQE route is for you. So you'll see on the right, the LPC route. That's the old way of doing things, becoming a solicitor in the UK, in England and Wales. That's been replaced by the SQE route, which I'm going to focus on today. All right, so let's move on. So in the old days, what you would have done is a law degree, LLB, or a law conversion course, and then studied on the legal practice course, done a training contract, and been admitted as a solicitor. Some of you may be aware of that. Now, that was a very, very rigid framework for qualification, and the aim of the Solicitors Regulation Authority was to sort of broaden out access. So they've replaced this framework with something called the SQE route. So most of you, I'm sure all of you, will be starting after September 2021. And so what you will do is eventually you're aiming to qualify as a solicitor, but to do that, you have to pass the SQE assessments and do 2 years of qualifying work experience. Beyond that, there's no formal requirements. But these are tough assessments, and so you'd be very well advised to study for these assessments. And to do that, we have a framework of courses. So conversion courses, if you haven't done law before, and then prep courses for the SQE assessments. So you'll see a variety of courses, and I'm going to give you a lot more detail on these in a moment. So qualifying work experience, to the bottom right of the diagram, is a lot more flexible than training contracts. And that's especially good news for international students as well. So a lot more flexibility. Okay, so the fundamentals of this SQE. What is this new route to qualification? Let's have a look at it. So SQE1 is the first solicitor's qualifying exam. And you have to pass SQE1 before you do SQE2. So FLK is called, that's functioning legal knowledge. Now that's defined as the legal knowledge that a solicitor needs on day one in the office. And so the aim of SQE1 is to test your legal knowledge. That's all of the legal knowledge. So both academic, the stuff that you do in a law degree or a conversion course, and the more practical legal knowledge that you would have done in the past on an LPC. So it tests your ability to identify legal principles and apply them. So in some ways, it's more demanding than a traditional approach because there's a lot more application. Now, the way it's set up is it's really single best answer questions. So these are not long form questions where you write an essay or advise a client. These are much shorter questions where you're given a scenario and asked which option is the most appropriate solution for that client. And I'll show you one in a moment. So these are shorter, more punchy questions that require quite a lot of problem solving. You'll see that it's quite demanding, SQE1. It's 10 hours, just over 10 hours, split over 2 days. Generally you sit 2.5 hours, have a break for lunch, 2.5 hours, then another day you come back and do the same again. You'll see someone's worked this out. You have an average of 1.7 minutes per question. So you kind of need to know your stuff. So the questions are very, very short and sharp. And they're sat externally. So you don't do these exams at the University of Law. You sit these exams at Pearson VUE centres. There are centres, lots of them in the UK and some internationally. Okay, so FLK is split into two, Functioning Legal Knowledge 1 and 2. So on the first set of exams, FLK1, you'll be doing the subjects that are listed on the top. So business law, dispute resolution, also known as litigation, contract, tort, legal system, public law, and legal services. So you'll see there's a mix of academic and practical stuff. And then on the second day, you have property, wills, solicitors' accounts, land, trusts, and criminal law. So it's split into sort of two different themes. That's what the two FLK exams comprise, and you have to pass both of them. So that's what you're aiming at. Now, to get there, you need to study. Now, some people may attempt to do this on their own, but we don't advise that. We advise a traditional course of study to get you understanding the framework of the law, understanding how it works, importantly, and understanding those legal principles. So just because the exams have changed doesn't mean that the approach, the general approach to becoming legally conversant in the legal concept has changed. That really stays very similar. Okay, so then SQE2, well, you have to pass SQE1 in order to move on to this. This is more about legal skills. So it's about practical skills, but you still need to display that legal knowledge that you've done in SQE1. So again, quite demanding. And you'll see that you'll be doing 16 written and oral tasks. They take about 14 hours over 3.5 days. They're scenarios based on solicitors' tasks. And again, required standard is the competent newly qualified solicitor. So pretty demanding stuff. Lots of skills are tested. There they are, 11 of them. 6 skills across 5 different areas, my apologies. So interviewing, advocacy, case and matter analysis, research, writing, drafting. So a range of skills, and you can see why this has been promoted by the Solicitors Regulation Authority. It's a very, very good test for competence across the 5 areas set out below. So that's what you're aiming at. And again, you need help to do this. And that's what the university hopefully will provide you with. So in terms of those exams, it's up to you to register for them. Now, this is a long way in advance for you guys because you're at the start of your journey. But a few points that you might want to know. You must pass SQE1 to sit the SQE2. We don't run the exams. They're run by Kaplan on behalf of the Solicitors Regulation Authority. You get 3 attempts in 6 years at each of those exams. And if you need adjustments, then that's arranged via the portal, the SQE portal. Okay, so there we go. You'll see on screen some more facts there. It does cost money to sit these exams, and that's independent of the course fees that that you'll be paying for study with us. Okay, right, now let's think about the mode of question, and then I'll tell you a little bit about our conversion courses and our SQE courses. So a single best answer question. Now, this is like a multiple choice question, but slightly tougher. So single best answer. So there may be more than one good answer. Your job is to determine which is the most practical answer. So it's a very practical test. And this is the way they're constructed. You have a scenario. So I'll show you one in a moment. Then there's the lead-in, which tells you which of the following statement best describes. And then there's 5 options, and you pick the best one of those 5. So here's an example, and this one is taken from the SRA, the Solicitors Regulation Authority's examples. Now, you don't need to be able to answer this yet. Okay, so there's your scenario. The owner of a Greek restaurant orders wall tiles that include a border design showing the Greek flag. After the tiles have been fitted, the owner notices they're decorated with the wrong flag, Uruguay. The owner wants them to be replaced. Okay, so in a claim for breach of contract, which of the following measures of damages is the court most likely to award? And so you have these 5 options. Now, I do contract law, it's one of my areas. Some of you may have studied it also. So if you have, you'll know that at least 3, possibly 4 of those answers are in some contexts correct. But only one of those answers is actually the one that is going to be the most practical. I'm not going to bore you with contract law, not that contract law is boring, it's really interesting, and I'll show you that when you do the conversion course with us. I have a little think for yourself, but if you think the correct answer is cost of cure, I might be about to be humiliated here. Yes, I'm not, I'm fine. Then you would be correct, because cost of cure is the most correct answer. It's the single best answer. What that means, if you want to know, is that you'll get someone in to correct the error, and the person who's breached the contract pays for that. So that's the measure of damages. Okay, that's just an example, but actually there are at least 3 other answers there that could be correct in other contexts. And so that's what you need to answer SQE questions. You need a command of the practical application of the law. And it's pretty demanding. I think it's a really good way of testing people. I can see they've copied one of my slides actually here, because the dark green is the most correct, light green is sort of correct, amber sort of yellowy could be correct in some situations, and red is totally incorrect. So there you go. Right. Okay, so let's now look at how we help you equip yourself across all of those areas to answer those questions. All right, so the University of Law, across all its courses, no matter what type of course, whether it's an LLB, an SQE course, the LPC, we have one type of learning style. We call it PEC, Prepare, Engage, Consolidate. And with tutor interaction, whether you're studying face-to-face or online, you prepare for your unit of study. So that might require reading a textbook, for instance. So I'll show you a textbook. Here is a textbook. Okay, that comes out particularly well. I'll put it in front of my face. No, I've just disappeared now. But there is a textbook. That's our contract law textbook. You would read that. You might read a couple of cases. You do a couple of introductory tasks, and then you turn up at an Engage workshop to throw around the ideas to improve your understanding. If you're studying online, you do that in groups and get tutor feedback. Then after all of that interaction, the engagement is really important. You consolidate your knowledge, and we have great media to help you do that. and then you move on to the next unit of study. So it's tried, tested, and a strong way of learning. Okay, so here are some courses, and I'm about to show you what looks like a sort of fairly bewildering array of courses, but actually I'll help you work your way through them. So they're kind of split between courses for non-law students. Now, by being in this session, you have either not studied law at all or not studied English law. Courses to prepare you for SQE1 and courses to prepare you for SQE2. And they are designed to sync with the SQE exam dates. So let's have a look at them. So you kick off with what's called a conversion course to convert you from having done something to knowing some law, enough law, academic law to be able to do SQE1 and to be able to do your SQE1 prep courses. Now I've highlighted one course in particular because this is our main conversion course, just to simplify things a bit. So the PGDL full-time runs for 35 weeks. You can start it in September or in January. I'm slightly biased because it's my course. I designed the course. It's tailor-made for passing modern professional examinations, while still promoting lawyering skills and really important intellectual skills. I'll talk about that a bit more in a moment. We do have other conversion courses. So the MA Law conversion, for instance, adds into the PGDL, it adds on to that a dissertation. We also have a very short form course at the top called SQE Law Essentials, which is a pure online course. It really is designed for people who are refreshing their understanding of the law or who are in a very great hurry to get it done, but it's a very tough course. And also we have another course which for international students is really only practicable for a January start, the MA Law SQE1. That combines a conversion course study of the PGDL with SQE1 preparation. So it's a longer course, but please, when you start any of these courses, in particular the MA Law SQE1, get familiar, if this applies to you, get familiar with the visa rules because they're pretty complicated rules. And the easiest way through normally is to do your PGDL. Okay, so then we have SQE focused courses, and our sort of the most highly regarded of our SQE courses is the LLM in legal practice SQE1 and 2. This assumes some academic legal knowledge, so for instance a PGDL, and it prepares you for SQE1. Then once you've done your SQE1, it prepares you for SQE2. There's a strong focus on skills. There's a lot of tutor support, and there's a lot of careers assistance as well. You can do this in chunks though. So if you don't want to commit to a full-scale LLM that lasts 88 weeks, then you can do the SQE1 prep course, and then its equivalent, the SQE2 prep course. We also have very short exam prep courses that you can bolt on the end just to really fine tune your exam skills just before SQE1 and SQE2. So those are the SQE1 and SQE2 exam prep courses. If you're doing the LLM in legal practice, then you'll be doing that full suite of courses. So you really get the sort of gold standard preparation for these exams. And again, all of these are designed to sync with SQE exam sit dates insofar as we know them at the moment. We're very much in the hands of the SRA on this, but they give us the dates of their exams, indicative dates of those exams. Okay, so the recommended approach generally is to do the PGDL and then to move on, once you have that legal knowledge, to do the LLM. Now, these give you a qualification, a postgraduate diploma, and then a master's, respectively, but they don't themselves incorporate they don't themselves lead to the SQE1 and SQE2. You do need to take those professional exams. The MA Law SQE1 as well, remember that combines the PGDL and the SQE1 prep course. Okay, so that's the courses we offer, and of course you get all the normal excellent support, the wide range of skills, the tutor support, and we think that these are the best way to prepare for those solicitors exams. I'm going to focus for a bit on the PGDL. This is our main conversion course. So it's about skills as well as knowledge. A lawyer isn't just a collection of legal rules. A lawyer is a whole load of skills, soft and hard skills besides that as well. So intellectual skills like how do you reason to an answer, professional skills like oral skills. 2 of our exams on the PGDL are oral exams. So these skills help you to progress onto the SQE and BPC. That's for the barristers. You do the core legal modules, plus we do law of organizations, which is business law. That's because we think it's really important that you're well prepared for those that knowledge in SQE, and something called skills and behaviors. So we think it's really important that you're equipped to show those behaviors for the office and to get you used to translating the stuff you do in the modules of study into something that can be leveraged for potential employers. So the skills are both embedded in the modules, but also they are highlighted in the skills and behaviors module. There's a focus, 4th bullet point, there's a focus on the single best answer questions. So although we do essays and problems and orals and courseworks, we also in each of the modules require you to answer single best answer questions, because we want you to be absolutely ready for those SQE exams. If you want to be a barrister, by the way, they also do single best answer question exams. So it's the way things are going, and we want you to have an advantage. Plus, we have a modular structure to study, so you don't do everything at once. So it's ideal for you if you want a strong foundation in the legal fundamentals and you want to demonstrate skills. So these are the modules. I'll talk about the ones that look familiar and then the less familiar ones. So contract law, tort law, real estate, law of organizations, criminal law, I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Equity and trusts may be unfamiliar to you. By the way, it's an area of law very particular to England and Wales, which is all about rights in things and drives a lot of property law in England and Wales. We have skills and behaviors that I've mentioned already, and then we have 2 slightly less familiar areas, but which are really important. So in dark blue, we have English legal system and constitutional law, and in yellow, we have administrative law and human rights. So traditionally, you would have studied these all as part of a single public law module. But the SQE syllabus is so broad on public law, and practice in England and Wales is so broad in these areas that we've split them into 2 modules because they all deserve attention. The English legal system now is a really important part of SQE, so it needs its own focus. So we have a module focused on how the UK and England and Wales work in English legal system and constitutional law in blue. And we have a module on how individuals hold the state to account and human rights, which is related to that. So both these modules have been really popular with students this year. And so we think that the PGDL and the related conversion courses are really fit for purpose for people wanting to study SQE. This is the modular structure. Very briefly, you do in 2 semesters, you'd be doing it 4 at a time. and then that's split down the middle if you're part-time. I know most of you will probably be doing it full-time, but if you're doing it part-time, you split it down the middle 1 year and then the next. Okay, the MA Law conversion I mentioned adds to that structure the dissertation. And the MA Law SQE1, remember, with the caveats that I've given you, adds to that the FLK modules that you'll do in SQE1 prep. All right, so a quick mention of SQE Law Essentials. Again, I'm not pushing this today. It's really designed for people who've done law before, need a refresher, or who are in a real hurry. It does a much more compressed, very, very intensive online course of study. Okay, in terms of progression, there are your progression options. Now this is being recorded, so I'm not going to go through this in massive detail, but you'll see that from the PGDL, you'd progress onto the LLM in legal practice, the bar practice course, or the SQE 1 and 2. Whereas if you would, and it's the same for the MA Law conversion, whereas for MA Law SQE 1, you only need to do the SQE 2 prep course after that. Okay, right, so let's look at the prep courses. These are more to do with the practical legal skills as opposed to the academic legal skills. All right, so those key practice areas that I mentioned earlier on the top left, business law, dispute resolution, etc. It's focused on those. With lots of technology involved in our LLM, adaptive and personalized learner analytics. And those are integrated with an app that called ULaw SQE, an app that delivers single best answer questions that are focused on you, your strong points, your weak points, areas for development. The modules are designed to help you prepare for the workplace. So you do the modules that do the FLK and the skills, but on top of that, to get that master's, we have modules designed to help you prepare for the workplace, really practice-focused modules. You have a choice of those modules. When you get there, it's flexible to help you support your career focus. Okay, so all of our courses share things in common. Great careers support, award-winning careers support. A lot of the modules are actually designed with our employability team, helping us design those modules. Lots of tutor support from qualified lawyers. Always when we get our statistics back from our surveys of students at the end of their courses, the strongest thing they say is our tutor support. Everything's very strong, but in particular, the tutor support. Flexible study, full-time, part-time, online, face-to-face. Our virtual learning environment is accessible on any device. Some of you may be familiar with Blackboard. It's that, but adapted for our purposes. Lots of experience delivering MCQ exams. Of course, these are single best answer questions, and that dynamic learning module that I mentioned, before. The learning tech on the LLM is second to none. Adaptive, as I said, it really is very impressive. You'll also get a personal tutor, being renamed now as an academic coach to provide that extra focus, by the way. And a new suite of manuals. So we will have in the conversion courses manuals like the one I showed you, that one, which are very law focused. I'm trying to make it appear. There's a yellow bit and there's a white bit. There you go. Very law focused. And then the equivalent on the SQE courses is this, which is very focused on just delivering and reminding you about the information that you will already have from your conversion course. Okay, and a fantastic practice assessment bank for SQE, SBAQ questions. Okay, in terms of fees, I've put them on screen. You can rewind and see them. They are on our website as well. I'm going to move on then to other options. There are lots of funding options, scholarships, bursaries. We have links with private student funding, and there are installment options as well for some students. So just a very quick reference then to how it will look for you if you're qualifying as a solicitor. I apologize if I get interrupted by my cat, by the way. One of the reasons for the SRA's change to the SQE was flexibility. So here are our staging posts: SQE1, SQE2, and qualification. And one route, quite a circuitous route because everyone's lives are different, is to do pro bono, to do an internship, to do the qualifying work experience as you go through. So you can see lots and lots of different ways of getting that qualifying work experience. You can do it bit by bit, or instead you can have a different journey, a more linear journey, a more traditional journey, where you might do a VAC scheme after your conversion course, and then after you do your SQE exams, you do 2 years of QWE, very similar to the old training contract route. Okay, so lots of support at the University of Law. You've probably heard about it: the careers support, the mentoring scheme, lots of opportunity to do pro bono, lots of employer talks. We help you with your CV and assessment day preparation. We have a jobs vacancy database. We don't provide you with a job in the law, but we give you the skills to help you apply for those jobs. And indeed, on our master's courses, we do provide, we do give you the option of having 4 weeks qualifying work experience. Okay, that's enough from me. It's time to hear from you. So let's hear some questions from you guys. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. That's such an informative presentation. Right.
Got one question in chat, I think. I had some experience in my work before the course. Can I use it as part of 2 years training? I can't give you a firm answer on that. It's quite possible that you can. The rules are quite generous about qualifying work experience. The best place to ask is our careers team, who'll be able to give you some slightly more concrete advice about that. But whereas with the old training contract, the answer would have been no, the answer here is maybe. So that's one example of how it's potentially more flexible. But for a more sort of firm answer, where we can look at the detail of what you've done, then I'd direct you to our careers team.
Right.
And for this question, I would like to share some experience from the past webinars. Your experience has to be endorsed by England or Wales registered solicitor or compliance officer. If you are international student, you are practicing in your own country, you don't need to build up the qualifying work experience again, as long as you are practicing in your own country and you are a foreign qualified lawyer.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. All right, let's see. Any question?
Aha. How long should I finish these 2 years training then? I remember for the previous courses, you need to finish it in 10 years. How about now? I don't know the answer to that. Do you know, Ron? I direct you to, again, to our careers team. They'd be able to give you the precise details of that. But quite commonly, as you say, with professional exams, there's a currency to them, isn't there? But I can't give you that that amount of detail. But again, our careers team will be able to do that.
Yeah, I know if students take SQE route, they need to pass both exams within 6 years. But for QWE, I don't really see the deadline. So yeah, you do need to check with our career service team.
Right. Let's see.
While we're waiting for some more questions, I can give a little bit more detail about the PGDL if you want, because I think it's a very, I think the way it prepares people for these exams is pretty strong. I would say that, of course. But on the PGDL, every module, as I said, does incorporate 40% of single best answer questions. Every unit of study incorporates single best answer questions as part of the consolidation. We really, really focus on them so that by the time you get to SQE, you speak SBAQ, which give you a massive advantage. But some of the exams, as I said, are traditional exams. So we do have on 4 of the modules traditional exams, online ones. We also have 2 courseworks. So for constitutional law and administrative law, we have courseworks. And we have 2 modules where you will do an oral. So for law of organizations and for criminal law, you would be doing an oral as well as the single best answer questions. So we're really pushing the skills and we think that this, you've mentioned GDL there. So the PGDL is a slightly more developed iteration really of what used to be the GDL. It's much more focused on skills and getting you through those professional exams.
And Peter, while you are here, I do receive many questions regarding the date release, the exam release date for PGDL, because for international students, the course finish around May, and they will have 2 months extra visa length to stay in the UK. So they are wondering if they apply graduate route visa, they need to get the result before they submit the visa application.
Yeah, we're very mindful of this. So especially with the PGDL, we've paid quite a lot of attention to this graduate route visa situation. And so that you get your results in good time, so that it's provided you're prepared, and we help you prepare, provided you're prepared with your graduate route visa application, you will have your result in time to make that graduate route visa application. So I know that's really important for international students, and we've really focused on that. But you have to do your bit too. So you need to obviously pass your exams, but also you need to get your application ready so that when you get your result, you can just put the result in your application and get it off to UK visa. But we will help you with that process because we know it's a pretty demanding process. It's a good point, Ron.
Right.
So has anyone got any other questions about our conversion courses or about our SQE courses?
Let me double check.
We do have some demand of students because we guarantee 4 weeks qualifying work experience for ML Law SQE1, and most of the students are very interested in this course. For this September, the course is not available for international students, so they are wondering if they can get the same for ML Law conversion.
Okay, good question. No, it's available for the MA Law SQE1 and the LLM in legal practice. So if you do PGDL plus the LLM in legal practice, which is our sort of very much sort of preferred route. Hang on, I'm just going to share the diagram again, if I may. Sorry, I'm taking command again, sorry. So you'll see on screen all of the courses laid out for you. The LLM in legal practice incorporates 4 weeks qualifying work experience in it. As does the MA Law SQE1. So those incorporate 4 weeks qualifying work experience. You could see highlighted in slightly stronger colours our sort of advised route through the SQE. Sorry, you can take control again if you wish, Ron.
No problem. It's just my students, they want to get everything if they are going to transfer to MLO conversion. So that's the question they normally raise.
Oh yeah. Well, you can do MA law conversion and then the LLM, and that's a very good way of working your way through from one to the other. So that's one way of doing it. But generally we advise people to do the PGDL. Any other questions?
Let me double check in the Facebook. Let me check in with my team.
So on the basis that we don't like dead air on the radio,
Yeah.
would you like me to talk about maybe the demands of SQE1?
Is it high demand right now?
So yeah, SQE1 is quite oversubscribed at the moment. The SRA is rolling it out. They've just had the first sitting, and the second either has just happened or is about to happen, it is quite oversubscribed. So when you've committed to this to your course of study, you need to get in as quickly as you can from when they open up applications for the SQE. You need to get your application in for it as quickly as you can, especially for your preferred location. Do be aware of that. But remember, if you're doing a conversion course, there's a little way to go until you're doing that, because you need to convert to the law first before you start to sort of focus on the SQE itself.
Sure, right. I think it's a good time already, and then I think if we have any question, I think when we post up online on Facebook or YouTube, if we have like following question, I'll let you know. Maybe I will email you. Yeah, because sometimes when we post on YouTube, students just like keep comment down below, and then yeah, I will email you about it.
I'll be happy to answer them. And hello YouTube, hello Facebook.
Yes. Right. So yeah, I think no question for now, and thank you very much. And plus your presentation quite informative. It's detailed all about the route. If you if you don't go this, you can go another way. That's really clear infographic. Thank you very much, Peter, and thank you for your time, and thank you for your time for Ron and Catherine.
Thanks you,
everyone
Daisy.
for attending.
Thank you, Peter, for the presentation.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye, everyone. Good luck.
Bye. Good day.